Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I wanted to talk about this energy shift that came through yesterday afternoon for myself, and I was also in contact with another triple split soul, Divine Feminine. At the same time, we felt this huge energy shift taking place for the Twin Flame Collective. So it was at exactly 3:33 p.m. yesterday. The both of us simultaneously came into this abundance of downloads. A lot of downloaded information came through. A lot of light code energy came through simultaneously for me and this other Divine Feminine yesterday afternoon. The energy was very intense. It was this abundance of downloads, and then, the soul shock from the downloads. And I was actually in bed laying down shortly after 4 p.m. yesterday, and I really couldn't do much but sit with those energies to transmute the codes that came in. I slept really, really good last night. I was asleep long before 8 o'clock, and I kind of was just asked to sit there in that energy, to go into meditation, to understand the messages that were coming through. And I woke up this morning feeling so much more vibrant, so much more full of energy and life. There was definitely a huge shift. So, you know me, I like to have those answers. So I went digging. I pulled the astrology chart for exactly 3:33 p.m. In Chatham, Ontario, Canada yesterday to see what the heck was going on. And there was a trine in the energies at exactly that time between the moon in Leo at 12 degrees 20, Uranus in Taurus. Uranus holds that power of awakening at 12 degrees 04. And then also the third part of the trine was with Venus and Mars energy in the descendant in the 7th house. So we had the moon in the ascendant. We had the Venus and the Mars energy both in Aquarius in the 7th house of Aquarius, the fall energy, the descendant. Aquarius is that progressive, free, radical thinking energy. We also had Saturn in the 7th house, our strict teacher, structure and order. And Saturn is also in Aquarius right now at 20 degrees 19. So all of these energies came through at 3:33 p.m. yesterday. 3 is that Holy Trinity Union energy amplified by 3. 333 breaking down to 9, completion, completion, completion. So we are so close to the end of closing out all of these karmic cycles. And what came through that energy was a message, a very strong message, that the counterpart's telepathic connection has been restored. I was shown that the Divine Masculine Collective is now back up online. They're back up online. They're feeling all of these intense energies. I don't think they're really sure what the heck is going on. We did have the vertex. We had the vertex in Sag in the 5th house of creativity, also in Sag at 2 degrees 14. So 2, union energy, partnership energy. 14, karmic freedom. I feel a lot of the masculines have been released from that false contract, likely going into these ascension code energies. And I think a lot of the feminines have been grounding that shift for the masculine. What I found very interesting in the astrology, because this is what I do. When I had my awakening, this is what I did. I dug and dug and dug and dug, went down every rabbit hole you could think of when it comes to astrology, karmic connections, and understanding why I am the way I am, why my family is the way that they are, and why my twin ran so fast. So this week is huge when it comes to this pre-union energies as we prepare for this lion gate with the ascendant in Leo. That is us fulfilling that lion tribe prophecy that is written about in the Bible. And with all of these intense energies taking place, I feel the masculine has tapped into those parallel universes, those parallel dimensions when it comes to the past life timeline. So we had a couple aspects. We had Mercury Contra parallel the 10th house, which is our midhaven, and the 10th house was in Aries, and we are preparing to enter into Aries season. Aries is Emperor energy, leadership energy, all to do with self-identity. So I feel this contra-parallel energy came in order for the masculine to experience the rise and then the declination of the rise. So it was this spiraling of energies that I feel when it comes to the North Node and the South Node. And in essence, this was a very rough activation I feel we were feeling when it comes to all of these celestial energies. So it was like this balancing when it comes to the energies. We had the North Node and the South Node in equal celestial distance from each other. So what happened is, I feel a lot of these masculines came into that divine truth, that activation of the seed point of the truth. We also had Venus parallel Saturn. So I feel a lot of awakening when it comes to these divine unions. We also had Venus contra parallel Uranus at 0 degrees 39, which was so very interesting because that is when I had my Kundalini activation. I was 39 years old. It was in 2019. In the spring of 2019 in March. It's actually been almost exactly 3 years since my activation. Another energy of 3. 3 is also the Empress energy, birthing that new life. And we don't birth that new life without going into all of these extreme and intense labor pains of clearing all of this wounding below the surface. And the feminine clears most of the karma for this activation to take place within the masculine's chakra body pathways. So I feel a lot of awakening energy when it comes to shifting into these 5D timelines, stepping into Lionsgate. We also had Mars contra-parallel the North Node, and Saturn contra-parallel Uranus. So all of these parallel universes coming through. There was a lot of third eye expansion after those downloads yesterday. So you might notice a lot of dream activity when it comes to clearing these past timelines. And that moon and Leo energy really is bringing forward a lot of aggressive energy when it comes to closing out these cycles. What I did take note of was Chiron in the 9th house. So what I felt with that shift was the masculine experiencing a crisis of some sort in order to get him to face all of these doubts, all of these repressed emotions when it comes to his meaning this life. You know, a religious ideology, a crisis is what came through. So I think the masculine sifting through a lot of distortion right now when it comes to him feeling like he's surrounded by a bunch of crazy people. And, you know, tapping into these higher frequencies, it is this energy of, you know, no boundaries, no rules. And I feel the masculine is really feeling like at this bottom energy where it comes to not being able to find meaning in his life. So this is stemming around the mistrust within all of these outlanders, all of these outsiders. And the masculine has played into this naivety, I think that's how you say it. And I feel this really has triggered that invulnerableness to come to the surface with a vengeance, a lot of emotional vulnerability. And I was shown the spleen. So I kind of feel, you know, that energy vampire that he's been connected with, you know, has activated the karma somehow. And with the North Node also transiting through the 10th house when this shift happens, that puts the South Node in the 4th house of deep roots, family, karma. And we did have the 4th house in Libra, that karmic rebalancing when it comes to the disintegration of those ego aspects that the masculine has been gripping to. So I feel there's been a lot of conflicting energies within the karmic contract, within the masculine's world when it comes to his personal life versus his career. I think a lot of spiritual self-awareness was activated in the energies yesterday, and I feel the masculine really is learning to come out of that fragile shell. A lot of these masculines go within and they really need to kind of grow up a little bit when it comes to developing self-discipline, you know, being consistent, And I feel this really was a shift when it comes to the masculine, ridding his energy of all of these emotional addictions when it comes to that core wounding, and learning learning not to emphasize their needs above others. So, you know, we're coming into this Virgo full moon energy, and it is all about a service-based energy. Virgo is that service energy. So, you know, a lot of these masculines, I feel, are becoming aware of this deep emotional dependence, which really has kept them in this position of being this hurt little child that is looking for the culprits of all of his failures, really needing to look in that divine mirror and to take that accountability. So I feel the masculines are coming into this deep self-awareness of where they have clung to unhealthy affections from others as a sense of protection. And this really has, you know, created all kinds of blockages when it comes to the masculine finding his innate inner courage and acknowledging the harsh reality that he's kind of created this external mess that he's kind of sifting through. So a lot of energy is coming through. A song that was playing in my head this morning over and over and over again when I woke up, actually two of them, was Out of the Woods by Taylor Swift. And that's, you know, where we're in that collective fourth dimension of shifting through, you know, the light and the dark, the false and the true realities, and going into that collective consciousness of all of these timelines and the baggage that we all carry within our DNA structure. So another song that stood out to me, and not even my music genre at all, pardon me, was The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson. And then I was shown the vision of a meme on Facebook a long time ago where, you know, we all have a little bit of Marilyn in us, and you have to decide if it's Marilyn Monroe or Marilyn Manson. So, you know, we all have both of those qualities, the light and the dark, and it's kind of integrating them and then zeroing out that energy. But I actually had to go back and I listened to that Marilyn Manson song, The Beautiful People, and it was very intense. I do highly suggest going and having a listen and, you know, finding a video where you can actually read the lyrics. And it's like the masculine is coming into this awareness of all of these people that have kept him in this illusion, preventing him from going towards this true divine connection. So I do feel a lot of the telepathic connection has been restored. I was also shown the number 7 and the number 22. So actually my SoulUrge number is 7. It's actually karmic debt 16, breaking down to a 7, which is the number of the mystic. And so it is breaking down all of those false belief patterns that we are, you know, programmed with, all of the false mental programming, stepping into our mystic healing capabilities. And it was so interesting. 22 is actually my divine counterpart's SoulUrge. Huge karmic lesson being mastered. So when I added 7 and 22 together, what do we get? We get 29. And 29 is that last number when it comes to closing out the astrology wheel and stepping into this new energy. So we are, you know, almost done with Pisces season. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac. You know, the 12 degrees 20, the 1204, mastering this cycle, these unions, these foundations. It is the crumbling of all of the false foundations, and then we've got to kind of rebuild at that 0 point from that heart-centered intention moving forward. So, you know, 29, huge number. You break down 29 even further, and what do you get? You get 11. So 1111 is that twin flame activation code. So really pay attention to the number sequences coming out. I know even yesterday I went for a little jaunt to drop my daughter off at her counseling in the afternoon. And once again, the number sequences are just flying at me nonstop. It's almost like you're not even in this reality. And you can feel the timeline shift taking place. So whenever those activation codes come in, we do kind of have to go into the purging and and clear whatever darkness was kind of activated for that clearing with those downloads. So this morning I was still on and off, a little bit nauseous from the intensity of those energies yesterday, and things are kind of calming down now, but I feel huge shift with the energies yesterday afternoon. So I did want to jump on and pull some cards again today. I normally don't pull any cards into the masculine's energy until closer to the weekend, but this energy was so intense. I was really pulled to jump on. So let's see what needs to come through for the masculine. Yeah, there's that ring. So I do feel that that higher integration of the marriage that the twins share in the higher reality. So it is like the marriage of the counterparts in the ethers. And I do feel the masculine is planning on coming forward with that higher level of commitment and engagement ring. And maybe not until about May, in the spring. I feel the masculines really are in the throes of this deep transformation at this time. And I kind of feel everything's been laid on the table. You know, the masculines have been dealing with that very dark, karmic feminine energy. And I feel like a lot of complexities coming up as I do feel like everything's kind of been laid out on the table in those false connections. And oh, that's so interesting. Beautiful energies actually coming through today. We got the bull. So that's that Taurus energy coming through. So I do feel like the masculine is not backing down from this opposition with this dark entity. He is showing his strength and his fortitude, and he's not backing down. So I kind of feel he's persevering and overcoming all of these challenges at this time, preparing to climb the ladder towards success. And I do feel a lot of the feminines are likely coming into that abundance, that opportunity or windfall. So, you know, that really was like a windfall of downloads and opportunity, like a lot of abundance of downloads. And, you know, we are here to kind of climb Jacob's ladder, to climb the spiritual ladder, you know, as part of this ascension process. So I do feel like this energy of like a fast rise and a hard fall. And I remember going through that in the spring of 2019, and I spiraled in those energies for 3 days with no sleep. I was taken to so many past timelines, and it was very overwhelming. So I feel a lot of astral travel in waking state coming through for the masculine. I also feel like a lot of those seeds that we planted, divine feminine, everything is about to come to fruition. When I did experience that ascension in 2019, I was shown like an abundance of windfall money. I was shown like it was pouring rain outside on the third day of the ascension. And everything for me has happened in threes, right? Three is that Holy Trinity number. And it was on the third day of the ascension energies, you know, of the rise, of the fast rise and the hard fall. And on the third day, I was shown like it was raining money. And if you think about it, the universe is full of unlimited abundance. And we're kind of in all of these programs of distortion where, you know, there's different levels of society, and we were all created equal. So I feel like this abundance energy coming in as all of this stuff kind of gets laid on the table for the masculine to come forward towards having that success. So I kind of feel the masculines are preparing to get together with you, and then we get the older woman. So I know for my own personal journey, it's not going to apply to everybody, but for my own personal journey, my divine counterpart went towards a karmic entity about 7 years younger than him. So a lot of these karmics are younger, you know, and I feel the masculine is coming into this awareness of his true equal, which is the divine feminine counterpart. So I do feel he plans on coming forward and, you know, seeking that advice from you. He sees you as this mature woman. And I feel he's definitely needing to reach out and to seek some good advice from a wise person, which would be the divine feminine, who has already transmuted and gone through this ascension process prior. So I do feel the masculine's in this place of deep sorrow. You know, I do think it still hurts for the masculine to release the karmic energy. We still have to go through the pain of an ending, whether it was, you know, a toxic relationship or not. We still have to grieve that ending, that loss. And I feel this energy of loss is amplified because he's feeling both the loss of the karmic feminine and the divine feminine. And I do feel he does see the divine feminine as this high priestess energy, needing to come forward and seek that good advice from her, because right now I feel the masculine is dealing with a bunch of temporary issues in the energy, sifting through a lot of distortion in order to, you know, have that ray of light after the storm. And I think the masculine does see the divine feminine as, you know, that lighthouse, that eye of the storm, the calm in all of the chaos. So let's grab a couple Rose Oracle messages, the Mother Rose. So it is like we are in this precipice of returning to each other. So I really do highly suggest going into compassion, divine feminine, because we are preparing to fully step into our humanitarian mission. And there is a lot of deep cellular healing taking place in the energies this week. And we're really needing to trust in the process, first and foremost, to trust in the messages that you're receiving from your emotional body, from your higher self. And I kind of feel like a lot of clarity when it comes to this fresh new start. It's like that first breath that a baby takes after, you know, they come out of that cosmic womb. And I feel a lot of relief is around the corner. I do feel a lot of the masculines are at the mercy of the divine when it comes to this lesson, when it comes to this karmic closure. It's over. It's definitely over in those false karmic contracts, and it's a matter of acceptance and the masculine finding that silver lining in like the fall energy. So I feel a lot of brotherhood energy coming up. We're going to keep that card out. So it's like, you know, the masculine's been shown his sacred masculinity and where he needs to honor, protect, and support the divine feminine and this holy grail union. So a lot of inner child healing is coming up to be addressed and to be healed. And it's like this sacred prayer, this sacred reverence coming through in the energies. And you know, we kind of got to stop this endless searching. A lot of the masculine search for like a replacement, or, you know, they run from this connection because we mirror reflect their deepest fears, their darkest wounds, and they fear, you know, not being worthy of the love that the feminine holds for them. So, you know, that inner winter energy, it's like we're in this very fertile void of this secret new beginning, and the masculine has been anointed is kind of the energy coming through. That's what I felt, that 333. And of all times and of all days, I don't know, was it the 13th or the 14th yesterday? I'm pretty sure the last time I seen my divine masculine face to face was around the 14th or so. We went into separation on February 14th in 2019. He had a heart attack around the 1st of March, and I went to see him face to face 2 weeks later, and I've really not had a conversation with him since. So I feel it's this anointed energy coming through for the masculine to answer the call and to step into leadership and benevolent empowerment. And I feel like this activation of his soul gifts has come forward with this divine rapture. So you're going to need to get grounded, plant your roots deeply, get outside and plant yourself, okay, divine feminine, because we need a lot of grounding action right now when it comes to this intense cosmic integration taking place within the collective. And I think a lot of expansion through all of these extreme conditions that the masculine is facing. And we're just kind of needing to trust. I can hear my 5-year-old upstairs having a meltdown. But I feel in this like rapture energy, a lot of sensuality has been experienced in the rise, in the fast rise. When it comes to the devotion of this connection, a lot of romantic ecstasy and pleasure, and then the fall of the void. So definitely need to get grounded, because the masculine is coming into this brotherhood awareness, and honor of the sacred feminine, of the sisterhood of the rose, activation of this holy grail energy. So we're going to read into the brothers of the rose. Brothers of the Rose, 64, breaking down to a 10. So like one step past completion. So let's go see what it says in the book here, and then we'll get into some other cards. So yeah, I do feel the masculine has been called to honor his sacred masculine from within. Just like the feminine has had to go through this awakening, this process of honoring her own sacred feminine. You know, the sacred masculine energy does exist within each one of us. We all have sacred feminine and masculine energies. But I feel now that the feminine's hit that 0 point, that balance from within, the masculine is now being called to find that sacred balance of these energies within him as well. So it's like kind of like the sun and the moon, the solar and the lunar energies coming into that equilibrium in order for us to birth this new 5D earth energy. So I feel the masculine really is maturing at this point in time, understanding the part that really lives deep within him when it comes to honoring the sacredness of this journey and the reverence of the divine feminine. So I do feel the masculines come into that soul recognition of the divine feminine goddess, which holds the key of life. And I feel stepping into commitment when it comes to protecting the divine feminine and stepping into devotion as that sacred masculine, striving to endure and conquer all of these karmic energies that are kind of, you know, bringing all of these extremes forward in the energies. So, you know, the divine masculine in his sacred masculinity will be that strong and tender, protective provider without those defensive barriers. So it's the breakdown of the walls around the heart. And I feel as the masculine is maturing and rising, we're going to also be called divine feminine to keep working on that deep ancestral healing of all of these, you know, lineages and all of these paternal and maternal patterns that we come here to clear. So you likely will feel your divine masculine around you coming up. I know a lot of the feminines have been very disconnected and very detached from their counterpart as the masculine's been closing out this karmic cycle, and it does feel like we're kind of back online again. So I feel this invocation energy of, you know, acknowledging the sacred masculine within and around us. And do be prepared for the masculine to appear in your life very, very soon, is kind of what I feel. It's this energy of like the masculine's energy encircling around you, preparing for this return is kind of what I feel. So a lot of integration coming through in the energies when it comes to, yeah, there's that catalyst. So I do feel there was definitely some type of event or catalytic energy that, you know, hit around 3:33 p.m. yesterday in order to kind of redirect the masculine, to kind of refocus his energy. So likely that karmic catalyst lashed out or created some type of upheaval, extreme upheaval, in order for this necessary refocus at this time is kind of what I'm feeling. Yeah, major changes in the masculine's life for this self-development. And there's that dream energy. So yeah, do pay attention to your dreams. There's been a lot of prophetic messages coming through in dream space. So I do highly suggest, you know, keeping that journal by your bedstand and jotting down what you can remember when you wake from that dream state. Because, you know, when we dissect those energies, usually we can get all kinds of prophetic messages from dream space. So I feel this big energy of retreat, disconnect, and ground the energies with Mother Earth as the masculine recognizes this need for self-development, ego development, facing all kinds of challenges as part of this evolution. So stepping into that great teaching role, definitely upheaval of some sort took place yesterday. And it's this integration of the heart, the mind, and the body, and the soul coming into that union, because the masculine, I feel, is definitely being pushed into his soul's purpose, this union, and this great love, being open to receive, open to receiving this great love. So we're going to grab the past life deck today, overindulgence. A lot of the divine masculines mask their pain through overindulgences, and I feel a lot of the karmics really have enjoyed slandering the masculine, is kind of what I feel has recently come through. A lot of the masculines mask through alcoholism and addictions, and I feel there's this huge release of any resentment when it comes to this past wounding that I feel has recently been transcended, is kind of what it felt like. A lot of states of transcendence yesterday is what I felt, and I had to go lay down and ground the energy. So I feel a lot of awareness when it comes to these negative experiences, both this life and throughout our past lives, all of these wounds that have shaped us, that we've allowed to kind of define us and limit us along our life's journey. And a lot of forgiveness coming through when it comes to this powerful liberation that I felt yesterday. And the masculine, it came out in reversed, the aloneness. So, you know, a lot of these masculines have chose to go into that deep solitary energy, to spend a lot of time alone recently, to understand their circumstances. And I think coming out of that hermit mode, I feel like definitely being criminalized when it comes to their past life abuses. So it is like this energy of the masculine going into this victimization, paying back the karmic debt from all of the past lifetimes. And I feel like packing up and moving home, breaking free from that very lustful temptress energy, that fleshy temptress that really has created this deep lack and this deep void within the masculine that is definitely needing some healing hands at the moment. So I do feel, get ready for the masculine to reach out for a house call. I think he desperately needs your healing hands at this moment after this devastation that he's experienced, and coming forward tirelessly to devote himself to this love and you know, to his service mission when it comes to the wellness of humanity. So I do feel a lot of these masculines have a deep distorted father wound when it comes to, you know, gender roles. You know, being that provider and that protector for his family, and getting ready to kind of rewrite his history as he pays back all of this karmic debt and seeks this higher education. And I do feel he is being called to share this knowledge that he has recently come into as part of his fulfillment this life, and to guard the heart of the divine feminine, and to bring forward reciprocity and healthy relationships in his life. So I kind of do feel a lot of these masculines have really been to war recently within themselves, preparing for this brand new exciting beginning with the divine feminine. So it is that crowning, that union energy in the ethers. And that's so interesting. I do believe the 12th house was in Cancer. So a lot of undoing when it comes to the mother wound, the father wound, and there's that shift in consciousness. And my mother just showed up with some groceries for me. So I apologize for the dog in the background, but like I said, the kids are home on March break. So it's that conscious release of this long-standing burden. You know, at that rock bottom, I remember I spent about 9 months in that fetal position, crying and understanding the depths of the past life connection. So Pisces energy coming through, the rise and the fall, to shift that state of consciousness when it comes to these past abuses, these past manipulative abuses of our gifts, and finding the strength to break free from that mind space energy in order to start something new. So there's that energy of juggling back and forth, chronic indecision, and the wheel is pushing the masculine forward when it comes to these legacies for the future, preparing to come forward and do that work. Get ready for something to come back around. I think the masculine knows it's kind of time to have that conversation. I think a lot of messages about finally doing the work and healing the past when it comes to the manipulation with the third party, and, you know, bringing forward that heartfelt, sincere apology, because the masculine is that victor in the energies, coming through victorious, is kind of what I'm feeling. So, you know, the energies have been very intense, and I feel, you know, maybe within 8 days, 3 days, 6 days, the masculine is going to be reaching out. But right now, I think they're in the precipice of clearing that deep inner wound when it comes to those gender roles. I'm going through a period of upheaval in order for this karmic rebalancing. So, you know, preparing to give this relationship a chance. I think it's going to come in feeling very new, very fresh. I do feel it's kind of time to work on these partnerships, to have that heart-to-heart conversation. Oh, yeah, and to kind of get to know each other again. A lot of the divine feminines, we have completely transformed our lives, as well as the masculines. And, you know, we're different than we were when we first met each other. So I think a lot of secrets have been revealed when it comes to deepening this connection and this bond, really needing to trust, because divine feminine, you are calling in your counterpart. You have come into this perfect alignment. Your prayers, your affirmations, your visualizations, and your belief in this love is bringing the masculine back towards you, because you have a very strong magnetic attraction right now. So very soon you have to decide, clearly decide. Do not send the universe mixed signals. They do not fare well with mixed signals. Clearly decide that you want the masculine to come to you now, and he will. So the masculine is freeing himself from this very controlling karmic entity. He's taking control back of his life, and he's coming forward to balance the scales and to heal these family issues, because he does see now that this is true love. And I think, you know, correcting the negative effects that this has had on the children within these connections, healing these family issues, forgiving our parents for them not knowing any better. We are the generational curse breakers. This is what we came here to do. So let's get a couple last messages from Spirit. Yeah, the divine masculine knows he's in a very unhealthy situation, and I think he is finally getting ready to speak up and be heard, to really acknowledge and learn from the past. Once and for all is the energies coming through. A lot of shifts. Wow. Yeah, the masculine knows it's kind of time to reconnect with you in the heart space. Definitely gaining a lot of maturity and wisdom in the energies with that shift. A lot of learning taking place around responsibility, financial resources, and coming into that awareness of all of these negative people and circumstances that have been in his way, serving as a test to divine will, a testament of his will. And divine feminine, I think you are kind of just being asked to remain in that high vibration, to keep shining that light very, very brightly for the divine masculine to be drawn to you right now, because where he's at, there's so much deception. I think he's having a hard time even trusting himself in the energies. And I think you just have to keep that positive thought vibration in your energy field, divine feminine, to have that very powerful, amazing impact with this moon cycle. I think maybe you might want to reach out and offer a healing hand or extend an olive branch. That's not going to be for everybody. But right now, the masculine is finding his bravery to break free from this very karmic energy that has belittled him, has made him feel small, has not really fully supported him or actually even loved him. And the masculine is being brave when it comes to, you know, that conversation with you in order to heal the past, to enjoy the present moment with you, and to embrace the future energies that we are here to embody and to build upon for these strong family foundations. So I do think divine feminine, just really go within and spend that time in quiet meditation as your masculine goes through all of these extreme external forces and influences in the energies, because we are stepping into fulfillment and happiness, and we don't need permission to do that from anybody but ourselves. So definitely major lessons have been learned recently, and although there might be some obstacles ahead that we do still need to get through, The masculine is in the throes of processing these deep, loving emotions. And this really is the first step towards this healing journey for the divine masculine. So just pay attention. Pay attention to the subtleties, the words, and the actions of others as we prepare for this reunion energy. And that's what I've got for an update today, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, do feel free to check out that description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.